Welcome to Everyday Dharma Talks, where silence becomes insight. There was a time many years ago when I was convinced that happiness was a destination, a prize to be won. I believed it existed in moments of profound, once in a lifetime beauty, and I became a hunter of these moments. My prize that year was a flower, a rare mountain orchid that bloomed for only a few days in the late spring, on a remote hard-to-reach peak. I had seen photographs of it, a delicate, looking more like a creation of glass than of earth. To capture my own photograph of this flower became my singular obsession. I prepared for weeks. I studied maps, packed my gear, and set off before dawn on the day the conditions were meant to be perfect. The hike was long and steep, but I barely noticed the world around me. My mind was fixed on the peak, on the flower. I remember stepping over a carpet of common wildflowers, their yellow and white faces turned to the sun. Without giving them a second glance, they were not the prize. I remember hearing the beautiful, complex song of a bird in the trees, but feeling only a flicker of annoyance at the distraction. It was not the silence I imagined for my perfect photograph. My body grew tired. My water tasted of plastic from the canteen. My legs ached. This was the price, I told myself. The noble suffering required to earn a moment of true extraordinary happiness. After hours of relentless climbing, I finally reached the place described on the map. And there it was. Just one, as delicate and perfect as the pictures had promised. It was beautiful, breathtakingly so. I knelt down, my heart pounding from the climbs. I took out my camera, my hands shaking slightly. I framed the shot. The light was perfect. The flower was perfect. I clicked the shutter. Once, twice, 10 times. I had done it. I had captured the moment. And then, I waited. I waited for the wave of profound joy. The deep sense of accomplishment. The lasting happiness I had sacrificed the entire day for. But it never came. There was a brief flicker of satisfaction, yes. The pride of the hunter who has found his quarry. But it was hollow. It was thin, and it vanished almost as soon as it appeared, replaced by a profound and aching emptiness. I looked at the perfect flower, then at the perfect image on my camera's screen. And I felt nothing, just tired. The journey back down the mountain was different. I had no goal. The hunt was over. And so for the first time that day I began to see. I saw the way the late afternoon sun turned the dust on the path into a river of gold. I stopped and truly listened to the bird's song, and its melody felt like a gift. I knelt and touched the soft petals of the common wildflowers I had ignored on the way up. I drank the last of my water, and the simple coolness in my throat was a profound relief. When I reached the bottom of the mountains, I didn't look at the photograph I had taken. I remember sitting on a rock and watching the sunset paint the sky in shades of orange and pink. It was a simple, ordinary sunset, the kind that happens every single day. And in that moment, watching that ordinary sunset, I felt a quiet, deep, and unshakable sense of peace, a contentment that the rare, perfect flower had failed to give me. The lesson from that day has stayed with me ever since. I had spent so much energy chasing one spectacular moment that I had become blind to the quiet, constant beauty of the journey. I learned that happiness is not a rare orchid on a distant mountaintop. It's the sunlight on the path. It's the bird's song. It's the taste of cool water on a thirsty tongue. It is here now, in the ordinary, if only we have the eyes to see it. We all have a rare flower we are chasing, don't we? Perhaps it's a promotion at work, or the day we can finally afford a particular home, or a perfect relationship, or a moment of recognition from others. We fix our gaze on that distant peak. When I get there, then I will be happy. We treat happiness like a transaction. We believe we must earn it through effort, through sacrificing the present for the sake of the future. The satisfaction we get from achieving these goals is real. But like my moment with the flower, it is often fleeting. Loud firework in the night sky spectacular for a moment and then gone, leaving the darkness feeling even darker than before. True and sustainable satisfaction is not a firework. It is the sun. It isn't loud. It doesn't demand attention. It is simply there quietly and constantly providing warmth and light. It is the peace that comes not from arriving at a destination but from realizing you are already home right where you are. This kind of joy is not found by adding more, but by subtracting our constant need for things to be different. It is the gentle art of being present. It is the profound relief of letting go of the hunt. Think of it this way. You can spend your life running through a garden, frantically trying to catch a butterfly. The chase is exhausting and the butterfly always seems just out of reach. Or you can find a quiet place in that same garden, sit down and simply be still. You can feel the warmth of the sun. Notice the colors of the flowers around you and breathe. And often, if you are patient and still enough, the butterfly will come and land softly on your shoulder. All on its own. The frantic chase for happiness is what keeps it at a distance. The quiet appreciation of the present moment is what invites it to stay. So I invite you gently to consider your own life. What is the rare flower you are climbing a mountain for? What is the butterfly you are chasing? Look at the goal that you believe holds the key to your happiness. There is nothing wrong with having goals. They give us direction and purpose. But the invitation here is to not place your entire hope for happiness inside of that destination. The advice is simple and it requires no grand effort. It is simply this: practice noticing. Just for today, release the need to achieve anything. Release the need to improve yourself or your situation. Let go of the hunt. Instead, make a gentle intention to find one small, ordinary moment and give it your full undivided attention. You don't have to create this moment. You only have to notice it. It is already there waiting for you. When you drink your morning tea or coffee, don't do it while planning your day or scrolling through your phone. Just for a minute, simply experience it. Feel the warmth of the mug in your hands. Notice the steam rising from the surface. Inhale the aromas. Taste the liquid as it touches your tongue. That's it. That is the entire practice. It is not about making your coffee a spiritual experience. It is simply about being present for the life you are already living. It is about shifting your focus from the grand, spectacular someday to the quiet, simple right now. By doing this, you are teaching your mind that you don't need to climb a mountain to find beauty. The garden is right here. Meaning is not waiting for us in a future achievement. It is woven into the very fabric of our ordinary lives. It is in the small, mundane moments that we so often rush past on our way to something more important. True beauty is found in the way the light slants through a window in the morning, illuminating the dust motes dancing in the comforting sound of rain falling outside while you are warm and dry inside. The feeling of stepping out of a hot shower onto a cool bath mat. The simple, honest taste of a ripe strawberry. The familiar weight of a book in your hands. The sound of a loved one's quiet breathing as they sleep next to you. The deep satisfaction of crossing the last item off a to-do list. The shared smile with a stranger on the street. These moments are not rare. They are not spectacular. They are the simple, quiet, and beautiful wallpaper of our lives. They are always here. We don't need to earn them. We don't need to strive for them. We only need to pause, breathe, and notice. We only need to stop looking for the orchid and begin to see the wildflowers that have been at our feet all along. This is where true lasting contentment is found. Not in plain sight, but in a plain life seen with loving attention. Thank you for following the podcast. We will meet again in the next story. Be well.